Right? How you all doing? Get ready to tune out. I hate updates. But that's what this is. Not much has changed since last we spoke. I'm a little older, a little wiser. Has my birthday passed since the last we spoke? I can't remember when was the last time you and I spoke? About, I think it was the Pine Time had launched. Doesn't matter, time has definitely passed, so I am older. Wiser in that every time I look at technology now, I just want to punch the planet. Technology infuriates me, but... Just quickly. You know how we're in the middle of a global chip shortage? And what is this? Global chip shortage. You can't get a graphics card to save your life, and everyone is looking at their old NVIDIA 10 series cards, their old AMD 400 series cards, and they're like, please just last a little bit longer. Last a little bit longer, please. I need you to live until I can replace you. And then the card just fails, kind of thing. My graphics card failed. I had a 5700 XT and it just went, bah, gone, son. And I'm like, no. And to get an equivalent card was like £800, and our survey says no. So, what has it been like to live without an actual graphics card during a global chip shortage? I'm a little bolder, as well as a little wiser, and a little older. Oh, God. Terrible. And because we're in the middle of a chip shortage, you can't just go, hey, mate, random company, insert the name wherever that was supposed to be. Can I RMA my card? Because they'll just go, mate, we ain't got none. We can't even sell them because we ain't got none. And I'm like, alright, cool. So that's been my life. Now every time I look at new hardware, I just want to murder people. Not literally. It's getting close. I'm starting to understand the mind of a serial killer at this point. Fruit Loops be alright right now. But yeah, even got a new laptop. And it's made me pull even more of my hair out. So, right. I wanted the next thing that was going to happen was that I was going to talk to folks about buying another dock for their PinePhone. Because if anyone remembers, I lost mine. The one that came with me, the one that came with me PinePhone, I lost it. Looked just like this. In fact, it was this one. Right? And I said to folks, don't panic. I'm ordering another one. It's this one. Look, it's different actually, because look, it's a little pine cone on it. So now I've got two. And then I was like, oh, I found this one. And I've only just realised I've had this thing for months. Look, it's called Expand. But on this side, it's called the Expandex. Spandex is good for your phone. And it's a little dock with a ledgy bit that you put on it, and you plug your USB-C into the bottom, and your HDMI comes out of the side. I'll talk about it another time, but Expandex. Spandex for your devices, which is rad. So I've now got a couple of docks for my PinePhone, because it was a nightmare using this thing. What's this? This is a what is this? I can't remember what it's called now. The Genki Dock Pro or something, which is a Nintendo Switch thing, where you USB-C out to your device, and then USB port, and then HDMI out to your telly. This works with the PinePhone. It's great, except it's only got one USB port in it. So I then had to go, right, I've got my PinePhone on the stand, and I plug that in, and now I've got to get the dongle to plug in more USB devices like my mouse, and that was a fucking nightmare. So I had to buy extra docks, and now I've got loads of them, and it's cool because one of them has got a pine cone on it makes all the difference. Expect more PinePhone in the future. Okay, I've still got it. It's here, although, hang on. It's dead. Not dead. Don't get me wrong, it's just the battery's dead. And my Pine Time is over there on my desk. Since my PC blew up, I've been like, that's it, technology, bah! And threw it away. So, not literally, but you know, why am I holding an SSD? Just kind of chucked it, and it's been sat on my desk, and my desk has been collecting dust and rage. But with the graphics card isn't completely dead. Okay? It just black screens all the time and gets really hot for, even with the fan up to 100%, it's like, hey, I'm just going to steadily climb up until explosion. But seeing as I'm kind of lacking at the moment hardware-wise, I'm going to potentially put this SSD into my PC, pull all the other stuff, put this in, and then if I blow everything up, the data and all that will be safe because I'll unplug the stuff with all the data on it. The price of a graphics card is practically the price of a new PC at this point, so I'm ripping my hair out either way. So, and I wanted to talk about this, assuming this is the right one, it doesn't matter. I wanted to talk about a tool called Ventoy, which is a little Linux distro that you write to memory sticks, and it gives you two partitions. One's your boot partition that loads up grub with stuff on it, and the stuff is the second partition is what you can put data on it. You can use it to put, like, I don't know, pictures, porn, text documents, that stuff. But you can also put ISO disk images on there and go, boot, and the grub menu will go, hey, I can see a load of images here. Do you want me to boot one of those? And you pick it, and it boots it. So you can have, like, I don't know, Ubuntu, Debian, Ubuntu Server. We're saying a lot of Debian-based distros here. Mint. Does anyone use Mint? I don't know. Manjaro, with all the different spins of that. Like the KDE and the GNOME and the i3s, you can have all of them there. And what's that other one? Garuda. You can have your Garuda Linux. You can put that image on there, and Windows if you really wanted to. And you just go, I want to boot one of those, and job done. If you're a crazy sod like me that wipes machines every 15 seconds, great tool. Look it up. Ventoy. Ventoy. It's a groovy piece of kit, and I recommend people that get it, because you can still use your memory stick as a memory stick. I used to have a hard drive caddy that did the same kind of thing. You'd be able to just load up ISOs off of it and act like a virtual disk drive. You can't mount the disks in like Linux or Windows. You can't just plug it in and go, I want that one. But on boot, you can. So very, very handy. And I'll use that to this in the explosion machine over there, and then I can do some other things, because this was actually bought for another computer and I stuffed up. I made a mistake. I'll go to the because in a second. I made a mistake. I had a business machine that is laying around here somewhere, and it was just like one of my other business machines, not the same model, newer processor in it, and without actually opening it up and going, let's check out the layout of the PCIe slots, I just made the assumption that it would have the same layout as the one that I had before. And so I did manage to get hold of a GTX 1650 low profile to put into one of the machines. I had a little machine, a little Dell Optiplex 990. And I gave my graphics card away last year. Smart move! Smart move. Someone else needed the graphics card more than I did, so I gave my 1050 Ti away, and then I had this machine sat here doing nothing. Then I got hold of an Optiplex 3040 Intel Core i5 6th gen, and I was like, oh, cool. And then the 1650 became available. It's a bit more expensive than it should have been, and so I took a punt on it. And I went to put it in this little business machine in the PCI slots. You've got like a 1 times and then like an 8 or 16 times. and it's because it's like a dual slot width card. You can't stick it in because it bashes into the. You can't put the graphics card in. So I was like, no. So I have to repurpose that as a server because I'm a nuggy. But that gives me a spare What's-It. And the graphics card went into the older machine, which was an Intel Core i5 2nd gen, the 990, the Optiplex 990, and I've reinstalled SteamOS on it. So I'm doing some Steamy stuff because Valve have since recently, when I've been gone, they announced the Steam Deck, which is running on, or will be running on SteamOS version 3. I'm now running SteamOS version 2, and I love this thing, and I loved SteamOS, so, or it was alright. It was a bit of a pain in the ass at times, but running that, so we'll be doing a bit of chatty about that. But, not having graphics cards has been the weird. So, I will put this in the Explosion PC, and I need to ask everyone questions. Okay, I made a video about the Elgato HD 60S Plus. If you got to this point, thank you. UVC issues on Linux, or UVC compatibility on Linux. And I spoke about the HD 60S Plus. I spoke about stuff like this AVerMedia web camera, some like cheap UVC capture cards you could buy, and how much I liked UVC. Well, since people have been messaging me saying, dude, UVC busted, how can I fix it? In fact, some people have even said to me, I've had to install UVC on my device. What do I have to do now? And I'm sat there going, the universal video class, is it video class drivers, aren't on your machine? Mm-hmm. They're even on, like, I was like, could it be on, are they on Debian? Maybe? I don't know, because even, like, the Pi comes with UVC drivers installed, from what I remember. So I just thought they were there by default. So, could folks let me know what distros they're running that they're having issues with UVC on? I was running Manjaro at the time and wasn't having a huge amount of trouble, shy of occasionally a device wouldn't initialize. And so as long as your software was on, you would, I don't know, like OBS, for example, you'd have two devices in, a webcam and a capture card, and it would say, well, I've got the capture card, and then it'd ignore the web camera. Or it would have the web camera and ignore the capture card. And you'd grab the one that doesn't work, you'd have OBS keep it open, pull the one that didn't work, plug it back in, go to your settings. One of your little devices has now gone red because it can't find it. Go into the drop down, click the one that it couldn't find a minute ago. Bam, it's there, and it usually works. UVC having a hissy has been kind of normal on Linux forever, but it seems to be getting worse. I don't know why. I'm not that smart, but I will look into it for people. Just let me know what distros you're running so that I can do some checks. As I say, I've got the Exploder over there. So I'll start distro hopping and start plugging in UVC devices and see what happens. Okay? So let me know what you're running and I'll plug in the HD60S Plus, some of the third-party things, the AVerMedia stuff, different webcams, and I'll ask around and just see if anyone else has issues too, but it's turned to a nightmare, to be honest with you. I didn't have, up until recently, a machine with enough horsepower to realistically use the higher-end UVC devices. Like, I had devices with USB 2 and stuff on them. We're talking, like, ThinkPad X200s. Don't worry, I haven't got the Rona. Whatever it is, it might take me, but we can only hope. I had stuff like X200s and X201s. I was like, they ain't really going to run these things. I have got some USB 2 capture cards, but that wasn't the capture card that people were asking me about. So just let me know, and I'll look into stuff. Last thing, life without a graphics card. Gotta say that again. Just, I don't even know what retail is like now. I look around for graphics cards and some places have graphics cards in stock. I'm like, oh, I could grab one of those for my machine. is that normal price? Is that normally priced, or is that super, super, super expensive? Because you go on some place, oh, it's $500 retail. It's like, but what would that have been? £550, £500, £550, and then you go on to certain sites and they're like £900, and it's like even retail stores, local as retail stores, have had cards for £900 that I am certain don't retail for £900. And Overclockers UK had the genius idea of to stop scalpers, because we're in the middle of a global chip shortage and people are scalping them and selling them on eBay for £1 million or whatever. Let's just up the price to the point that no one will buy them. And if you've been an active member of the Overclockers UK forums for the last 2 million years, you know, we'll give you a discount code to bring the fucking card down to retail. I've used Overclockers now for, since 2007, 2008, something like that. And I have never touched their forum. Can I get a discount? Can I? Fuck. So I don't know what's a good deal and what ain't. I'm struggling to keep up with the market at this point, and it's doing my Swede in. I'll tell you something. I'm hoping that if I reinstall everything on my Explosion PC, that it might work. Maybe. I'm hoping Linux drivers will be kind to my little graphics card and let me limp it along for a little while. If not, then I will cry and punch the planet. But that's my groove. Losing my mind during a global chip shortage, having a beast of a PC sat there. Just imagine all those people who went to, they started building a PC at the start of the global pandemic. And then we're like, mate, I need to get where's all the graphics cards gone? I've got an entire PC sat here. I need a graphics card. And then they're sat there with like, I don't know, a 750 Ti in their Ryzen 9 whatever rigs, or their Intel Core i9 like hardcore machines. Oh, this sucks. Like, welcome to my world. I don't know what GPUs cost now. I'd love a 3060 or one of the is it a 6800 XT from AMD? So like hovering around those two cards. But I don't know what retail is. Every time I look it up, it seems to change. So just want to buy a new graphics card so I can use my PC. So I can do stuff again. Because, I mean, as fun as it is tinkering around with a PinePhone connected to your TV, nothing's accelerated. Kind of like how my PC is right now. And it's a nightmare. So, yeah. Hope you're well. What distros are you using? What capture cards are you using? What cameras are you using? Get some expandex for your phone. The Steam controller is beautiful, and Steam OS is wonderful. Scalpers be damned. And I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. Maybe one of these a bit in depth. I hate updates. See you.